Hi you guys, welcome to Random Thoughts Thursday. So for today, what I'm gonna do is just continue on my tack review video because I couldn't fit all of my things into last week. So I'm gonna keep going today and show you a little bit more about the tack that I use. Okay, so this is my third time taking this video. It's not even really windy, it's just a little breezy today, so I apologize if there's background noise. That's how it's gonna be. So I'll start by telling you guys what I like for a saddle pad. I'm not super picky when it comes to a saddle pad. I like a wool felt blend in either 3/4 inch or 7/8 inch thickness, and I usually get a 30 length. I have two brands right now. First I've got a 5-star and then a classic Equine saddle pad. So I don't necessarily like one more than the other. They kind of serve the same purpose if you ask me. I just get plain old plain, nothing fancy on the wear leathers. And I like mine with a contour, so you can see here there's a bit of a kind of dip, I guess, so it'll shape to the horse's back. And then how there's a hole here, that's what I think companies call it a weather relief. So those are kind of two requirements for me. I keep them plain just because they're more affordable. As soon as you start getting into fancy colors or getting different leather and stuff on the wear leather, it's just looks and ends up being a lot more costly. So I usually just keep them plain. Okay, so another thing that I feel like we could go into a ton of detail on is bits. Barrel racers are crazy about bits. I don't know why, but I've also, in the same way, I have way too many of them, but I like options. So I'll show you what I run Jada in and what I run Grinchy in. And yeah, other than that, I don't know, I can't show you all of them because we'd be here all day. Okay, so I run Grinchy in this one. It is made by Dave Elliott with Elliott Bits. They're a really well-known company in Canada, and unfortunately he's kind of slowed down in business. I don't know why, but they're hard to get now, basically. But yeah, it's a good custom-made bit. It's got a little bit of a gag on it and then the nice chain mouthpiece. Grinchy is so push button, I feel like you could probably run her in anything. But the reason I actually put her in this bit is I was feeling like for a long time, anything I put in her mouth, even when I would touch her lightly, she'd flip her nose in the air. And I had Grinch's brother before her. He ran really good in this bit. So I put it on her one day, she works in it. Jada, I run in this one. So it's a two-piece mouthpiece. A little bit of a gag on there as well, and it's just a short shank. I actually have ordered this same bit, but in a 3-piece mouthpiece. I just feel like she doesn't love the two-piece mouth. It's not a ton of bit, but I find same thing when I'm kind of asking her per shape and stuff. She kind of wants to do the nose flip, so I just think she's gonna work better in a 3-piece. So I'm gonna give that a try. And then I do a lot of slow work and stuff, trail riding and all that, and I usually put a different bit in their mouth for that. One of my kind of go-tos for my schooling bit, I guess, is just 3-piece mouthpiece with some copper rollers on it and just like a medium shank, nothing crazy. Why do I do that? I just feel like when my horses have a running bit, I like to keep them in that for barrel racing only. Just because I feel like it's like, when you put that bit in their mouth, it's kind of like they know it's game time. And also it keeps them respecting it a little bit. If it's in their mouth every day, I feel like it's almost like they get used to it, if you will. So yeah, I like to just ride in something else when I mess around. And you guys probably noticed the head stalls that I have are really plain. Nothing fancy at all. And I don't know, I mean, I like fancier stuff, but I just feel like for, these are $30 or $40, or I can spend $200 on a head stall. It just is like when the only difference is looks. I don't know, it just seems to me, it just makes more sense to get, they do the same thing. So I keep them pretty plain, nothing fancy. Also, I like these like working cowboy head stalls, they'll call them, because you can see like the cheek pieces are shorter, and I ride in a lot of gag bits, which mean when you have all this extra space from the mouthpiece, you need a shorter cheek piece. So yeah, I don't know, I just keep them simple when it comes to head stalls. Okay, so last thing I'm going to talk about is cinches. I think people get really wrapped up in trends all the time, and cinches are something that I've liked to just keep pretty basic. So I'll show you what I have on my saddles. Okay, so I use these fluffy cotton, I think they're cotton cinches. The one on Grinchy saddles, just a cheaper off-brand, but same idea. I like that they're like fuzzy and fleece. It keeps, you know, they're comfortable, and something I always keep an eye out for is you can see here how there's fleece behind the buckle. I think that's really important because I feel like these can dig into them. So yeah, that's what I use. And then that one's just a cheap off-brand. This one is a Professional's Choice one. The thing that you're gonna get with the Professional's Choice, you can see that covers behind the buckle too, is they have this little roller thing that kind of makes it easier to cinch up. This part also Velcros off, so it's really easy to wash. So that's something that you get when you spend a little bit more money on a Professional's Choice one versus an off-brand. But honestly, same idea. Everyone has a preference. I just like these for my cinches. I think that they breathe and they're soft, and yeah, that's what I like. Well, thanks for watching, you guys. I hope that answers questions for those of you that were so curious about what I use for tack. So those are some of my favorite things. If you have questions, feel free to write in the comments below or send me a message. And thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so.